And more examples of the double standard. Let her tell her story versus why won't Christine shut up? Heather was given significant room to tell her version of events and gather public support. With Christine, her continued public advocacy and questioning are often framed as attention-seeking, dramatic, or suspicious. She's a grieving mother versus her grief doesn't excuse her behavior. When Heather's emotions were discussed, many people emphasized the trauma of being a mother and urged others to have compassion. But Christine's grief is frequently treated as something that should make her more suspicious if she reacts emotionally, speaks forcefully, or refuses to accept answers she finds unsatisfactory. Protect the children, but selectively. This is one of the biggest contradictions. If children deserve protection from internet scrutiny, that principle should apply to all children, including kids who are accused of doing something wrong. You cannot demand privacy for minors on one side, while rationalizing public scrutiny of minors on the other. Heather's supporters were considered advocates, and Christine's supporters are treated differently. When people rallied around Heather, that could be framed as a community coming together to support a mother. But when people rally around Christine and demand answers about Nolan, they're more likely to be characterized as causing drama, spreading misinformation, or interfering. Questioning one mother was considered harassment, and questioning Christine is considered accountability. There's a legitimate distinction between criticism and harassment, but the standard should not change depending on whose mother is being criticized. If mass online criticism is dangerous and unfair in one situation, it doesn't magically become acceptable simply because the target is Christine. You don't know what happens behind closed doors unless it's Christine. That phrase is often used to remind people that outsiders don't know the complete circumstance of someone's life. That's a reasonable principle, but if we believe it, we have to apply it consistently. One mother gets a presumption of innocence, and the other gets a presumption of bad intentions. This is probably the most important point. The same action can be interpreted completely differently. Heather speaks passionately. She's advocating for her family. Christine speaks passionately. She's trying to control the narrative. Heather asks people to pay attention. She's seeking justice. Christine asks people to pay attention. She's seeking attention. Heather challenges people. She's standing up for herself. Christine challenges people. She's being difficult. That isn't objective analysis. That's interpretation based on sympathy. The larger point, the argument isn't that Heather should never have received support. The argument is, why wasn't compassion treated as a right for Christine as well? And that's it, and that's all. If you've made it this far, I genuinely want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and perspectives on this particular situation. I know this is a sensitive topic, and I know everyone is not going to agree with everything I've said, and that's okay. But before I go, I want to reiterate something because I don't want my point to be misunderstood. I am not saying Heather Wyatt is a bad person, and I'm not saying Christine is a bad person. I don't personally know either one of those women, so it would be intellectually dishonest for me to sit here and make definitive judgments about their character. What I am saying is that I followed both situations as they unfolded in real time. Nolan Wells' case is still unfolding. And when you step back and you look at the way the two mothers were treated publicly, the difference in the response is difficult to ignore. Both mothers experienced the unimaginable reality of losing a child. Both situations unfolded in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Yet the public response surrounding these two mothers has looked remarkably different. One mother was met with an enormous amount of sympathy, support, protection, and people willing to rally behind her. The other mother has faced criticism, skepticism, scrutiny, harassment, and repeated attempts to discredit what she has said almost from the beginning. And that's what I'm asking you to think about. Why? What causes the public to look at one grieving mother and say, give her grace, she's hurting, let her speak? But look at another grieving mother and say, something must be wrong with her, why won't she stop talking? Why is compassion so easily extended to one woman but seemingly conditional for another? And I'm not saying Christine should be immune from criticism, and I'm not saying Heather should have been denied support. I'm merely saying the standard should be consistent all across the board. That's it. And once again, you already know, Laesaidit. Until next time, I hope you all have the day you deserve. And remember, it doesn't take much to say, I'm gonna sit down and I'm going to listen before I start judging, insulting, and criticizing. Because one day, that could be my story, and I would want people to give me grace.